Welcome to our February 18, 2026 voting meeting of the Exeter Township School District. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Fike, will you please take roll call?
Julia Schaefer,
Present.
Allison Wilson,
Here.
Dr. Andrea Battler,
Present.
Deborah Bloom, Joseph Cook,
Here.
John Fiddler,
Here.
Dr. Ann Herring,
Present.
Jason Mell,
Here.
Travis Odom, 7 present, 2 absent.
Thank you, Mr. Fike. In addition to the 7 board members in attendance this evening, we are joined at the board table by our solicitor, Sharon Montaigne, and members of the school district administration, including Dr. Christy Haller, Superintendent, Mrs. Dawn Harris, Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Josh Hoyt, Director of Teaching and Learning, Mrs. Diane Skornovaki, Director of Human Resources, and Mr. Brian Fike, who serves as our Business Administrator and Board Secretary. Okay. We will be amending the agenda tonight. It is recommended that the Board of School Directors amend the published agenda for tonight's meeting as follows. This will be in addition to the Finance and Audit Committee. The Board Secretary, Brian Fike, is authorized to execute documentation required for the sale of parcel ID number 4352615624550, Deed Book 2719, page 1355, located at East 40th Street, Reading, PA 19606, as approved by the board at the December 16, 2025 legislative voting meeting. The reason for the amendment to the agenda is that the title company for the sale of the property is requiring proof that Brian is an authorized signatory, and the closing is currently scheduled for March 6th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now on to Dr. Haller's superintendent report.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening to all those joining us in the audience. I'd like to take a moment for my superintendent's report to recognize Allison Wilson, who the board will be accepting begrudgingly her resignation this evening. I've known Allison before she even joined the board. We were both parents of 2 little boys who are now all grown up. And I just want to take a moment to thank her for all of her hard work and dedication to the board over the last 7 years. She's been a great support to myself and those of us who sit up here at this table, and to the teachers. And her work has not gone unnoticed. And I know that even though that she will not be sitting here with us, that she will continue to support all of us and be an advocate for our teachers and students and parents. So thank you.
Okay, we'll move to public comment. We have Cliff Kirshner, who has signed up. Okay, we'll be following board policy number 903 regarding public participation in board meetings. I'd like to emphasize that each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 4-minute duration. Mr. Kirshner, if you could just please state your name and your address, please.
Yeah, my name's Cliff Kirshner. I'm in Macungie, Pennsylvania, address 98 Hollyberry Road. And I'm a member of the Vietnam Veterans Berks County Chapter 131. And I want to say good evening to all the members of the school board and the faculty and any staff here and fellow community members, and especially to my Chapter 131 brothers that are here today on behalf of the over 80,000 missing in action people that served in the United States Armed Forces and could not be here tonight. I'm here to respectfully request that the Exeter Township School Board approve policy 807 for the flying of the POW-MIA flag alongside the American flag at all Exeter Township school buildings and administration buildings and athletic fields. POW flag's an enduring, powerful symbol of our nation's commitment to never forget our men and women who were prisoners of war or those who went missing in action while serving the United States Armed Forces. It offers opportunities to educate students about military history, sacrifice, and civic responsibility. As I said before, there's over 80,000 missing in action service members as of this point in time from all wars. Pennsylvania has 90 missing from Vietnam. And those families of all those people that are missing in action, they're all looking for closure. They just want to see their loved ones come home. And we were able to do that for William McMichael, who was a World War II warrant officer in the Army, and he was brought home to Boyertown, and he was killed in 1945, and it was 80 years later. He came home last year, and his sister was able to see the casket. She was 97 years old. So that was her dying wish before he came home. There's 3 of our Berks County brothers that are POW-MIAs from Vietnam: Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Angstadt, Colonel Thomas Dugan, and Captain David Pennebecker. How would your community veterans, Gold Star families, and friends of service personnel that were killed or missing in action expect you to vote this evening? Remember that thousands of men and women have risked everything and paid the ultimate sacrifice so that you can have the freedom that you have today. I respectfully ask that you vote yes and show this community and its veterans that you understand the significance and importance of the POW-MIA flag and honor and remember those that never returned home. Again, the families are just looking for closure at this point, and it would be good to be recognized by the community and the school board that everyone is being remembered. Thank you for your time and service to the community and commitment to honoring those who served. Do you have any questions at this point in time for me? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kirschner.
Let's get this done.
Okay, we'll move to board meeting minutes. If there's no objection, we'll adopt a motion to approve meeting minutes from our last month's school board meeting, board committee of the whole meeting, which was January 6th, 2026, and board voting meeting on January 20th, 2026. Hearing none, motion's approved. If there's no objection, we'll approve a motion to approve the January 2026 Treasurer's Report and payment request dated January 21st, 2026 through February 18th, 2026. Okay, hearing none, approved. On to Personnel Committee with Dr. Herring.
Thank you. First item on the agenda, it is recommended that the Board of School Directors accept the resignation with extreme regret of Allison Wilson from the Exeter Township School Board effective at the conclusion of the February 18th, 2026 board voting meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Montaigne, I'd like to ask you whether or not we are required to accept Ms. Allison Wilson's resignation.
I'm sorry to say that you are, in fact, required to accept the resignation.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we have a motion and a second. I will start the discussion. On behalf of the board and our school community, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to you, Mrs. Wilson, for your dedication, heart, and service of 7 years in your roles as director, president, and vice president. Your time has been no small commitment and priceless, yet you have done so with integrity, compassion, and a deep sense of purpose. Through your tenure, you have not only been a thoughtful and steady leader, but also a mentor to many, including myself, offering guidance, perspective, and unwavering support. Your willingness to listen, collaborate, and advocate for what is best for students exemplifies your true passion for education and public service. Thank you. Your commitment to a student-centered focus and well-being of our district community has shaped important decisions which will benefit our district for years to come, and your legacy will continue in students and programs you have supported. While we are saddened to see you step away, we are deeply grateful for the foundation you have helped strengthen over the years. We wish you every success as you continue your journey as an educator and any path that leads you to making a difference in the lives of others you touch. Bleed blue. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, I just make a comment for Allison, and that's Allison with 2 L's, by the way. I just want to make sure to make that clear. I think Mrs. Wilson has brought a unique perspective to the board, being somebody that has, been in a classroom. She is an elementary school teacher, and I think she has definitely brought that perspective to the board all these years, and it's going to be a deficit that we are going to notice for sure on her departure. I commend her for her service all these years. I also especially commend her for putting up with me for the past 5 years as well. So, I mean, I think that was probably even more of a challenge. But I do wish her well in your future endeavors. Thank you, Mrs. Wilson.
I would just like to echo what's been said before and say on a personal note, Allison, I sometimes felt that I was the only voice speaking for education and learning, but you joined in rather frequently, and I appreciate that. And so I will miss that, and I will miss you. Thank you.
Well, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We'll move on to nomination and appointment of board vice president. Pursuant to section 404 of the Pennsylvania School Code, the board will elect a vice president to serve until the next reorganization meeting. I will now open the floor to nominations for office of the vice president.
I'd like to make a nomination of Dr. Ann Hearing
Okay.
for vice president.
Thank you, Mr. Fiddler. Mr. Fiddler has nominated Dr. Ann Hearing for vice president. Are there any other further nominations for the office of vice president? Okay, hearing none, and if there's no objection, I will declare the nominations closed. Mr. Fike, will you please conduct a roll call vote?
Dr. Andrea Battler,
Yes.
Deborah Bloom, Joseph Cook,
Yes.
John Fiddler,
Yes.
Dr. Ann Herring.
Do I vote for myself?
I think you can.
Okay, yes.
Jason Mell,
Yes.
Travis Odom, not here. Julia Schaefer,
Yes.
Allison Wilson.
Absolutely.
Motion passes 7-2.
Okay, the vote
Or
is
7-0.
7-0, there we
Yeah.
go. The vote is unanimous in favor of Dr. Ann Hearing. She has now been elected the vice president effective March 3rd, 2026. Congratulations, Dr. Herring. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I'll turn it back to you.
Welcome aboard. I'll move on to the next item. It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approve the memorandum of understanding between the Exeter Township School District and Exeter Township Education Association regarding the addition of a flex day for a total of 3 for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mrs. Schaefer, I will be abstaining from this because my spouse obviously is a member of the ETEA.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mill. Anyone else? Okay, if there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain.
Thank you, Mr. Mill. Motion carries.
Okay, it is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves or ratifies the following personnel items. Any items in bold have been added, changed since the Committee of a Whole meeting. Resignations, retirements, appointments, transfers, change of status, additional assignments, leave of absence, and the attached list of course requests.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion carries.
And that's everything, Mrs. Schaefer.
Thank you, Dr. Herring. Education Committee, Mr. Fiddler.
Thank you, Mrs. Schaefer. The first two items are information only, the enrollment report and field trips within the 60-mile radius. Are there any questions about either of those? All right, we move next to item C, the district calendar, and it is recommended that the Board of Directors approve the 2026-2027 district calendar as attached.
You have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
Yeah, actually, I do have a question. I'm wondering if someone can, from the administration, can explain, not just to the board, but to the public, why this was not on an earlier agenda for more thorough discussion.
Sure, I can. If you've had an opportunity to review the calendar, you'll notice that it is very similar to the calendars that we have proposed the last 4 years the last 3 years that I've been the superintendent. And we wanted to make sure that we had the MOU in place because we have an excellent working and collaborative relationship with our union, and that is a departure from what we've done before. So we needed to have the MOU in place before we could approve the calendar. And because our families are trying to plan for vacations and the start of school, we didn't want to delay it any further by having it be on the CAL and then go into the March voting meeting. That's why we wanted to propose it now to be voted on.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, just a couple things maybe for public clarification. So obviously this calendar is a little bit different from last year's. There's nothing on here that directly specifies snow days. Would administration be able to explain that a little bit further for people that are trying to understand what this new calendar describes here?
Sure. In the past, we've had designated snow days, and the board has expressed that they were fine with me using virtual instruction days. And so we did remove the snow days in favor of the virtual days.
Okay, and just to understand, there is a maximum of 5 virtual days that we can use, or is there no cap?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So in the past, school districts needed to put in an application to PDE to apply for the use of 5 FID days, flexible instruction days, which Dr. Hoyt did for us, and our application is up to date. Since that time, I believe about a year ago or less, we received notification from PDE that you were permitted to use as many virtual days as you needed to for reasons that were perhaps beyond your control. Say that you lost power in one building or you lost water in another building. That's something that you could use a virtual day for. So there's no need, I'm assuming you could still put in the application. Our application is up to date. We don't need to do that now. But that's why we've started to move away from the term of FID days and use the term of virtual days.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. And then just one more question. For the virtual days, Some of the questions that have come up in the past was how is special education handled, IEPs, that sort of thing, with virtual days or FID days? Are you able to elaborate at all on that yet, on how that would be handled for this? Because I think there's some questions in the community in terms of the use of virtual days and FID days when it comes to those sorts of things.
So I because our programming is so specific to students, I don't know that I can give an overarching response to it other than saying that PDE has said that that's a permissible way for us to provide instruction for students, for all of our students. And they provided school districts who are using these days with very specific guidelines about the amount of time that students are required to spend in their subject areas. We do provide office hours for our families if they would like to check in, and so there is support that's available. Although most of the day is asynchronous because of the fact that we also recognize that families may be working, or also there's a possibility that you could be without internet, so that way we have provisions built in for people to make it up. But our teachers have been given time over the course of the year to look at their instruction and make sure everything is up to date. And even with the coming snow, because now we're using FID days or virtual days as we're now calling it, we need to make sure that those things are updated.
Okay, thank you.
And Dr. Holler, just a kind of a clarification, maybe as you're alluding to on starting to get into heavy snow and other inclement weather, where does that line draw between continuing with FID days versus extending the school year? And especially with like a new calendar that we have that's no school day, no snow days built in.
Mm-hmm. So again, there are some school districts that have taken the perspective that they're not going to use any flexible or virtual days at all, and all the days are going to be made up. There's other school districts that are only using, or I think are only using virtual days, and in the past we've used both. It sounds like our community is somewhat split, and there is no amount of or cap on the virtual days that we've been permitted to use. So I don't, if we're using virtual days, we're not going to be adding snow days. And at this point, we would have to add that to the end of the year. If the board would like to modify that to add snow days to the end of the year, we can certainly do that, knowing that it'll delay this, but at least parents have seen a look at like what the year potentially looks like. I'm not sure if that completely answers your question, or
I think it's just a matter of when would we start getting into extending the school year?
And how much is too much?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said I was going to be done, but I lied. The days that are no students and that have an asterisk, the Section 1502 days, just to clarify, especially for the community, it gets a little contentious when we were talking about Easter vacation and that sort of thing. Those days there that are marked with an asterisk or no students entirely, will those ever have the opportunity of getting taken away, or are they permanently, based on this calendar, no students, and people can rely on that not changing?
So we have those days designated as 1502 days because we are in the process of negotiating a contract with the teachers union. And we've been advised that we should have at least 5 days designated as 1502 days in case contract negotiations perhaps may not go well, and there would be a potential for a strike. We are certainly not suggesting that we believe that is going to occur, but that is the intent of having those days. So while the days are designated as spring break days, if that would be needed for time for instruction because there would be a strike, then that's what the days would be for.
Okay, so those asterisks, the days marked with asterisks do potentially, could be student days. They could change.
They could
Okay,
change.
okay, thank you.
Dr. Haller, in the past, we have presented this calendar at a cow. Have we consistently been doing that every year? Is this the first year that we're doing this? And my second question would be, if this is, as a board, are we comfortable doing that? Maybe, do we have the choice of moving this to next month now, like you said, the community has seen it?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, we usually do it at a CAL. Again, this really isn't a huge departure from what we've done in the past. Even previously, when I was in the district, we had 3 flex days, and at one point we went to 2. Because we haven't done 3 in a while, that's why we wanted to have the MOU. We wanted to make sure we had that in place before we presented the calendar. Really, other than the change in the snow days, it's essentially the same calendar. But if you would like to make an adjustment and have us not use virtual days and add in snow days, you could certainly delay the voting of the calendar. That's, completely up to you.
Can we get an idea from the board as to who feels that we should maybe postpone it? Or am I the only one that
First, you'd
feels
have to
that way?
get the second rescinded.
Well, right, well, I mean, at
I
the
don't
moment.
want-
I mean, we can
you
have
could-
a- we can
you
have a
could straw-
discussion.
Straw poll and see if there's
Yeah.
any interest.
Okay, so we'll do a straw poll for interest to remove this from the agenda tonight with a motion to strike and then push it to the cow.
So to clarify, no is to keep it, yes is to postpone it.
Correct.
Okay.
Dr. Andrew Battler,
Yes.
Deborah Bloom's not here, Joseph Cook,
Yes.
John Fiddler,
Yes.
Dr. Ann Herring,
Yes.
Jason Mill,
No.
Julia Schaefer,
No.
Allison Wilson,
Yes.
5 yes, 2 no.
So
Okay, so-
now, I think the proper way to do this would be to have a motion to table, and then that needs a second.
All right, you need a, Dr. Andrew Battler would have to first rescind her motion because there is a motion on the floor.
Okay. I rescind my motion,
Okay.
and I'd like to make a motion to table this.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I will just say that I do think that we may want to consider maybe possibly putting this on a special voting meeting next month instead of putting it through the normal COW and then another vote, just because I do want to be mindful that there are people that are, this calendar is already a little late, and we have people trying to make plans in the next calendar year. So I do think we need to be mindful of that as well.
That was gonna be my suggestion. If we could do a special voting meeting.
Yeah, and it's not late. I mean, we have tried to get it out early, so
Sorry,
we've tried, yeah.
I
so
mean,
we've tried
it's showing
to-
later than people are accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, so we have been trying to, because of the, the community, the interest, we've been trying to get it out in January. But it has been delayed till February, so this is the voting meeting in February. So, if you want to delay it until March, that's fine. I would just ask that as a board that you give us some direction as to how you would like, if you're tabling it, then you would like to see some changes to it. So we need to know what those changes are to come back or to present a second look at a calendar.
For me, it's really just to give the community more of an opportunity to look through it as opposed to just these 4 or 5 days we've given them. Since they're used to having some more time to absorb it and look at it. That's my thought, not that I wanted to give you more a redirection. And I have no problem doing a special voting meeting.
My main concern was same as Ann's, but also, sometimes you can get hit with 13 snow days, and I am not okay with 13 flexible instruction days. Before, we had a very long discussion about it, and there was like, we'll allow, what was it, Allison? 3, right? We'll allow 3, and then we'll make up the 5, whatever. Yeah, and then we had the 5 at the end, or we'll make up 5. We'll take away the week of. And then, right, exactly. It was 3. Yeah, right. It was 3 FID days, and then it was 5. We'll take away for vacation, which parents and kids take anyway, with and then the after school. So that's where I kind of get a little bit. That's where I would like to see a little bit more flexibility. But I don't even see where there's. Before, we did have the 5 days that we could put back in, and I'm not seeing that here unless I'm missing it. That's why I think like it was all of like the 22nd to the 26th of March or whatever that we could have put back in. And that's not on here now, but anyways, that's what I was thinking.
Just so I understand, so you're saying you want to have built-in snow days in addition to the 1502 days? Like you want to see built-in snow days, like you just said, the 22nd, 23rd would be snow days, and then the 24th, 25th, 26th, and 29th. So essentially, you have 6 days off school.
So
That could be used for snow days.
So we're saying that the 1502 days could be just used as snow days. That's fine with me, but that's not what it says here.
I didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand why the 1502 days are in there. Like, don't get me wrong. I totally understand that. But saying that we don't need to use the 1502 days, I would rather have those days be the snow days than tacking them on to the end, because as most people say, and as we've all discussed, they've already gone through all of their testing by, May. So what's the point of adding them on in June? That's because we're doing the 1502 and we're not having snow days. I just don't want to see 10. I just don't want to see like 10 or 15 virtual days because of bad roads in essence.
We can't designate them as both, so you'd have to find other days during the year to utilize, which means that you would be taking time away for professional development, which we can certainly do, but I would just caution you that we're going to be doing a K-6 math implementation and a 5-6 ELA implementation if the board chooses to vote that way. The success of those implementations, which is a significant investment of the board into those programs, could be seriously impacted by taking that time away. We could certainly add days to the end of the year, which some districts do, but by doing so, as you've already stated, I'm not sure what the value of that is for families, especially because of trying to plan vacations, and we wouldn't really be able to give them a solid end date because no one knows what the weather is going to be like. So, I understand, the interest in having the board view and having the community view that, but oftentimes in the past, you'll receive one email for someone who wants virtual days and no snow days, and somebody else that doesn't want any virtual days and snow days, and it seems to be very, very split. So again, tabling it is fine, but if you want me to add back snow days, then I do need to know, if we're going to be adding snow days, because we are going to have to extend. We will have to extend the year to build in. If we're going to do it during the year, then we have to extend the school year in some capacity. And I know that parents also would like to see the school year end early in June, so.
Do we need to take a straw poll on who would like to see snow days added in to the calendar? Is this the direction the board wants Dr. Heller to go, or do we just want to table a motion, put it on the cow, or have a special voting meeting in March? Anyone?
Yeah, I am fine with keeping the recommendations that the administration has made here, regardless of adding extra time to it. I think we go through this every year where you are not going to make everyone happy, and we just need to make a decision. So that's where I'm at.
I agree. So we'll vote on the motion to table. Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Any noes? Motion carries to table the district calendar to next month.
All right, item D, instructional reading strategies, professional learning statement of work. It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approve the close reading professional learning, statement of work attached for the 2025-2026 school year.
We have a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a similar question, and I did speak with Dr. Hoyt earlier today. The question is, this is the first time we're seeing this, first time the public is seeing this, was not on the COW agenda. So I'm wondering if Dr. Hoyt could explain that.
Sure, absolutely. So there's, this just came down to a timing issue for 4 different things. As we all know, the state budget was delayed. So when the state budget is delayed, the grants associated with it for the application are also delayed. So one of those grants that we use is called the Ready to Learn grant. And typically that grant is applied for and awarded usually in November. Due to the delay this year, the grant was opened and wasn't due until February 6th, which we got a Ready to Learn grant put in for, but we couldn't get this on the agenda for this specific item until we knew for a fact the Ready to Learn grant would get approved. We did get approval for that, which happened after the COW. And the reason why we didn't wait till March to get this on the March COW is because the first professional development session that we're using the funds for is actually March 2nd. So that would have been, we would have been using something that we didn't get approved, which would have come before the COW. So just really, it was, and we also needed to get the contract from the IU, but we couldn't get that till we had the grant approved. So it was the timing of those things. The IU was very helpful in getting us the application or the statement of work as soon as possible. So this, just for the community, this is being funded through the Ready to Learn grant for that. And this is professional development around the requirement of the initiative structured literacy and us looking at a series to a specific strategy called close reading.
Thank you, Dr. Hoyt.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion.
And the final item, it's the Education Committee consent agenda, consisting of 2 field trips beyond the 60-mile radius and a rather long list of staff conferences.
Mr. Fiddler, would you mind separating the 2, please?
Not at all.
Thank you.
So we'll do number 1 at first. It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approve the following Education Committee items. Item number 1.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I do have a question. What caught my eye here was that for the first item, the STEM team will miss 3 days of school, and the second item, the student going to the band festival, will miss 2 days of school. How will these students make up those missed days?
So the when this occurs, we know in advance the students work with their teachers and vice versa. The fact that, that we have the Schoology platform, they have access to their work and all of our digital licenses. Our students are in constant contact with their teachers. So, and our teachers are extremely flexible about working with the kids when they have these instances, because this is something that is an exciting opportunity for all of them. So we're very proactive in these situations and not necessarily reactive. So
Good, thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approve the following Education Committee items. Item number 2, conferences.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mrs. Schaefer, I'm going to abstain also from this one because my spouse is listed on one of the conferences.
Thank you, Mr. Mill. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
Thank you. Motion carries.
And that concludes the Education Committee report, Mrs. Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Fiddler. On to Finance and Audit Committee with Mr. Mill.
Thank you. It is my privilege tonight to take the Finance Committee for Mrs. Bloom in her absence. So we have the consent agenda, items 1 through 7. Obviously, number 7 is the one that was amended earlier this evening. Any questions? Discussion? I guess we need a second.
Second. They're slow tonight.
Sorry.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, no discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
That is it for my report, Mrs. Schaefer.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Battler, Facilities and Transportation Committee.
Yes, we're going to start off with a PFM presentation review.
Okay.
Jamie Schlesinger is here from PFM. We did the banking RFP and we had very good results. I let Jamie take over.
Sure. And Mark's going to jump in on one of the slides. So
Okay.
thanks again for having me. Thanks for your service. I know you heard it a lot today.
Just a reminder.
I'm so glad you could join us tonight for my last meeting.
This is being totally financed through the savings of the electric for the solar projects.
Yeah.
But,
We're good.
okay.
We'll get through that. This is great news. So someone will pull up our presentation. So I was here last month to talk about the opportunity what we can use to use a bank loan to fund the solar project to give us maximum flexibility associated with the grant funding and other funds that come from the IRS over the coming years, depending on how fast it comes. We expect that money will come and pay down more than half of the principal that we'll be borrowing here, and that of course would reduce the interest expense over the course of time. Because of that, and because of the energy savings that are anticipated based on the consultants that are working with this should be covered in full based on those savings as well as the reduction of the funds that are coming. So it is, although it's debt, it is being supported by all of those things as Brian mentioned. Turn to the next page, please. Interest rates are in a pretty good place. That's what that graph shows. I'm going to skip that because Mark's going to just touch on the bank RFP itself.
Sure. My name is Mark Quinn. I'm from Stiefel. Good to see everyone again. We went out to approximately 24 banks and received bids for the loans. We received 5 responses. You may sit there and say, wow, that's not a lot of responses, but that's actually a very common ratio of banks making bids. And I know it's very hard to see on the right there, but we have a summary of the 5 bids that we received. We put this summary together just to make it as much of an apples to apples kind of comparison. You'll see that, there's certain things that are common: final maturity, the rate calculation, the prepayment. It was obviously important that this could be paid off at any time. Commitment fees, legal fees, it's all detailed on that table on the right there. And as you'll see, we tried to make it easy for the board to see the various bids, kind of consolidated it. We spent a lot of time with Mr. Fike in terms of due diligence, putting out the term sheet, and also answering some questions from the various banks and so forth. So with that, I'm going to give it back over to Jamie to kind of go over the results, right?
I think it's pretty clear when you look at this, we want to look at what the lowest interest rate was. It's a good starting point. It was clear that M&T Bank was the best proposal. They actually offered us everything we wanted, which was prepayment, no prepayment penalty, the lowest fixed rate over the course of time, and their fees were reasonable. So it was a pretty clear winner. That is lower than what we anticipated based on the numbers that we ran previously. So when we go to the next few pages, we'll show you what those impacts are. So the blue page is how we've been summarizing things to provide you an idea of what this would look like. It's important to point out that the structure of this has been done similar to what we've done in the past with the wraparound debt service mechanisms, which is on column 5. That would make the assumption that we borrowed the full amount of proceeds, which would be a little over $4 million, use those funds to cover the cost of the project, which has been provided by the district of about $3.98 million. And then we expect that $2.1 million to come over the course of time between grants and other funding sources. That amortization schedule would be about 11 years, and the payments would be shown on column 5. Everything to the right of that is estimates of the anticipated reduction of interest expense, assuming the funding comes in for the grants and other things. And most importantly, on column 8 are the estimates of the reduction or avoided cost tied to this electric utility itself. Those estimates of about $250,000 or so were provided by your architects and engineers. That would come over the course of time. I'm just showing it ending when the maturity of the debt is, so that would continue over the course of time. And you'll notice that column 9 is actually lower than column 4, which is your existing debt payment. So as pointed out, if all goes as according to plan, we receive all those funds based on the structure itself, you would have an overall reduction in annual payments once it's all said and done.
Jamie, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Starting in year 2034, I think it is, can you explain why our principal pay down is so low until we get to 2034 or whatever that is, 2033? Yep. Is that because we're going to have another bond series paid off by then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called, this is the wraparound debt service structure. Because your debt starts to drop off, we're taking advantage of that drop off to allow you to phase in the debt, so there's very little impact to you on your budget. It's very traditional with school financings, and it allows us to amortize it at a much shorter period of time as well.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so all in, this is a great transaction. I don't have much more to say. Congrats. We're very happy with the results. The next few pages are really just the backup between how this all works, the cost of issuance, and allowing you to move forward on this, where we would settle on the transaction on March 24th, assuming the board moves forward with the resolution that Peter Edelman will describe in the next 30 seconds, if you want him to.
I just want to make a comment. Our Pliget prime rate, the interest we earned yesterday was 3.77. So actually, the loan rate's less than what we're making on the funds in our bank.
Good point.
Will, for the administration, will this presentation be placed on the website after tonight? Will we get this out there so the public can see it then? Thank you.
Yes.
Yep. And again, as the funds come in, that prepayment provision allows you to immediately pay down principal. So as it comes in, let me know and we'll tell the bank to pay it down. Any other questions? Okay. I think the conversation is really about the resolution itself. You've heard the concepts before, but here he is.
Oops. Good evening, everybody. My name is Peter Edelman. I'm an attorney with Stevens & Lee, and we serve as bond counsel to the school district. So tonight, there's a resolution before the board which will accept the terms and conditions of the M&T proposal that Jamie just described to you, and will authorize the issuance of a general obligation note in the amount of $4,065,000 to finance this project. The resolution is drafted in compliance with the provisions of the Pennsylvania Local Government Unit Debt Act. That's the act that governs how school districts are permitted to borrow. Some of the keys to the resolution really are that as security for your obligations to repay the principal and interest on the note, you're pledging your full faith, credit, and taxing power. And in connection with that, you're promising to budget, appropriate, and pay each year the amount of debt service that's summarized up on the screen. So that's really a real quick summary of the resolution, but by adopting the resolution tonight, you're taking all official action necessary under state law to move forward with the project. I'd certainly entertain any questions if there are any.
Do we need a roll on this?
Yes.
Okay. Pardon?
Shall I go ahead then?
Any questions?
I didn't even do the motion. Do you want me to do the motion? It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves the following facilities and transportation items. That the Board of School Directors adopt the resolution, number 1, authorizing the issuance of a general obligation note to finance the district's ground mount solar PV system project, and number 2, approve a lending proposal from the recommended institution M&T Bank by PFM Financial Advisors LLC from the low bid in the RFP received on February 12th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have a question, actually, I think best directed to our solicitor. I do my banking at M&T. Would there be a conflict of interest in my voting for or against this
No.
motion? Okay.
Do you have stock in M&T?
No, but $5 million of my money is there, so I want to be sure that it's.
You have no voting privilege.
Remind me to come with
Thank
you
you.
next time you do your
Thank you, Mrs.
banking.
Montaigne.
Yes.
Any other discussion? No? All in favor say
Okay,
aye.
I
We
should do
gotta
it.
do a,
I should do a
roll
roll.
call, sorry.
Dr. Andrea Battler,
yes.
Deborah Bloom, Joseph Cook,
Yes.
John Fiddler,
Yes.
Dr. Ann Herring. Yes. Jason Mill,
Yes.
Travis Odom, Julia Schaefer,
Yes.
Allison Wilson,
Yes.
7 yes, 2
Okay.
absent.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay. Further, it is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves the following facilities and transportation items, number 2 and number 3.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
That's all for me.
I apologize, I didn't catch this more quickly. Under the Finance and Audit Committee topic, item number A2, that should have been a roll call vote. I realize it was, everybody said yes, but just for the record, that should be roll call. If we
Alrighty.
could redo that.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, I was just thinking it would be great if I could go back to that section. Thank you, Mrs. Montaigne.
And I actually have the form inside the signature folder. Okay.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves the following finance and audit items. Items number 2. Mr. Fye, could you take a roll call on this, please?
I will.
Thank you.
Dr. Andrea Battler,
Number 2. This one.
It's the BCIU mandated services budget.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep,
but then
yep.
he pointed at the geese one, so I got confused. I'm sorry. Okay, yes, I'm good.
Deborah Bloom, Jason Mill.
The wrong one.
Yes.
That's why I got confused.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry.
Matthew
No, I got
T.
it. I was
Odom,
looking at it,
Travis
I'm
in
like,
parentheses.
And why does that have to be?
John Fiddler,
Yes.
Dr. Ann Herring,
Yes.
Allison Wilson,
Yes.
Joseph Cook,
Yes.
Julia Schaefer,
Yes.
7 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Mr. Fye. Mrs. Schaefer, that is truly the end for the Finance Committee.
I know that we're
Thank
done,
you.
but why did that have to be a roll call?
There are certain items that, under the school code, you have to have individual You can have to see how everybody
that-
voted,
Oh. I
just
did-
being technical.
I did not know that one, so thank you.
Okay, that is all on facilities and transportation. Mr. Mel, Policy Committee. What? Did you do 1, 2, and 3? Yeah, we did. Okay, all right. Okay.
Okay, could somebody tell me what I'm doing here? Because
Yeah, we still got to finish.
All right, Policy Committee.
Dr. Hoyt, can you help out? Oh, I didn't want to interrupt you while you're eating sweet tarts. Okay.
Oh, Dr. Hoyt, did you have something you wanted to say? Oh, okay, I apologize. Policy Committee, it is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves the following policies. Second reading, Policy 807, opening exercises, modem silence, flag displays. This is for the inclusion of the POW-MIA flag.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have some questions. We've discussed this before. We talked about, I think you talked about it, Jason, a bill that was under consideration. Can you give us a status of that?
I would love to. It's Senate Bill 835, and the last I knew, it was still sitting in the, in committee for education in the Senate, but I am pulling that up now just to verify it hasn't moved, and it has not. So it's been referred to the Education Committee in the Senate where it sits. That occurred back on June 9th of 2025.
Good. Thank you very much.
Yes.
My second question, and I think also should be directed to Mrs. Montaigne, we talked about the ramifications of such a motion, passing such a motion and allowing the flags could conceivably, and correct me if I'm misremembering and misstating, could conceivably inspire someone else to come forward and say, we would like a flag representing X, whatever X might be. Does my memory serve me correctly?
Your memory does serve you correctly. However, I did some further research, and the determination of whether that's an issue is very fact specific. The facts that exist in Exeter, it does not have to become an overwhelming concern for Exeter. That may not be true in your neighboring districts. It depends on the history of what you've done in the past, basically.
So then voting for this, there would be little to no risk of that kind of thing happening, someone else stepping forward and proposing and saying, well, you did it for this group, we want a flag for this group.
I would say there is risk that somebody might ask and make a challenge to you, but you would prevail in that challenge.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it. Does the administration have an opinion on it? No? Okay.
That's wonderful. I did not want my last vote to be a no vote, so thank you.
Mr. Fike, do you know what the cost of the district to update our polls and our lighting to add a flag?
It's not going to be updating the poles because we're going to fly it underneath, directly underneath the flag is additional clips, and they're like 6 something a piece. So, the flags, it's like the flags themselves. I think the organization said they supply at least the first round of those. Right.
So minimal cost?
Minimal, yeah.
And I believe the flags themselves will be provided by, potentially, I think it's your group there, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
I just want to say, while I do support the flying of this flag on our district property, I'm inclined to follow our best practices, which follow board, policy updates that are provided by PSBA. So until Senate Bill 835 is passed, I will be voting no. But I would agree if we could put a flag, which you had said was permissible, like in a gym or fly it somewhere else. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Motion carries.
Mr. Schaefer, I just wanted to say thank you to the gentlemen that have been coming here for the last 2 months to every meeting and sitting for the entire meeting. And I want to say thank you for doing what you're doing. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, on to athletics and extracurricular activities. Dr. Butler.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Schaefer. First, all of our winter sports teams have made the county and district playoffs. Both boys and girls bowling teams are in the county championships tomorrow at Heaster Lanes. Second, there's going to be a senior high school, they're going to host the String Jam on February 25th, so come out and enjoy some beautiful music. Also, Exeter Township Senior High School is pleased to present their spring musical, Mamma Mia. Will play on March 12th, 13th, and 14th at 7 p.m. with a special matinee performance on Sunday, March 15th at 2 p.m. at Exeter Township Senior High School. Tickets are $15 for adults and $10 for students at the door or purchase online. And let me just go to another, make sure I didn't miss anything. But that looks like everything, so come out and support all of the kids who are in their district playoffs and then the school musical and the string jams.
I do have a question, if I may, and so far my memory's been good, but didn't we do Mamma Mia 5 or 6 years ago? It was at the Rifton School? Or was that a community group that might have done that?
I don't know, but you do know there is now a Mamma Mia 2, right? So, I mean, we kind of gotta.
Oh, is this two?
No, this, I'm not saying this is 2, I'm just saying they came out with another movie, Mamma Mia 2. So, I'm just saying they might have.
So am I misremembering that?
No,
or-
I don't know, sorry.
No? Okay.
I don't really know.
It was a fantasy.
Okay. All right, on to Exeter Community Education Foundation, and that is me. As part of our ECF board report, we share with sadness the passing of Barbara Corbo, the beloved wife of Dr. Nick Corbo, former superintendent of Exeter Township School District and founding ECEF board member. We extend our sincere condolences to Dr. Corbo and his family and keep them in our thoughts during this difficult time. We look forward to hosting our second annual ECEF Run to Soar 5K on Saturday, April 4th at Trout Run Sports Complex. We are happy to include a new 10K option as well. This race is in partnership with Pretzel City Sports, so please check out our website or Facebook event page for more information to register. We are hard at work planning our 5th annual Food Truck Festival, which will be held on Friday, May 15th at the Senior High School. We have quite a lineup of already and have longtime favorites and some new faces as well. If you own a food truck or a club, booster, or an organization that would like to join us, please see our website for more details. Thank you. On to Berks Career Technology Center, a joint operating committee, Mr. Fiddler, if you could also do Berks County Intermediate.
Yes, of course. This will be a quick report. I'll need to know, as you know, we're doing our March 17th meeting at BCTC. That will be dinner at 5:30, a tour from 6 to 7, and then our meeting at 7 o'clock. I would like to know in writing by February 27th, the exact number. The board is invited, the administration is invited, and administrators sitting to my left are also invited, but they do ask that we give them a precise head count because they will be preparing dinner for us. So if you could let me know in writing, email or text by February 27th, I would be very grateful, and so would Mike Stauffer's staff. As for BCIU, that board meets tomorrow night, and I'll be attending that. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Fiddler. Legislative PSBA Liaison, Mr. Mel.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Disappointingly, I do not have any milk updates this evening, but I do have a slew of other things I need to get through here, so bear with me. On February 3rd, the 2026-27 state budget process officially began as Governor Shapiro addressed the State House and the Senate in a joint session. The governor unveiled his priorities for the upcoming budget, which included continued investments in public education. The proposed budget includes a total of $53.2 billion in state spending, which is an increase of more than $3.1 billion over the last year. Over $900 million of that amount is towards increases in education funding. To address concerns related to the state's looming structural deficit, the proposed budget seeks to increase revenue through the legalization and taxation of recreational cannabis and the taxation of skill games. House and Senate budget hearings will begin on Monday, February 23rd, and conclude on Thursday, March 12th. The Pennsylvania Department of Education is scheduled for budget hearings on March 3rd in the House and February 23rd in the Senate. After the hearings, it will be up to the lawmakers and the administration to determine the final budget, which will proceed through the legislative process with a constitutional deadline of June 30th, which they always make every year. Does the administration or Mr. Fike, anyone have any comments on the budget that they'd like to share in addition to anything I've just shared? Looking at Mr. Fike's face, that's going to be a no. I'm going to move on then. Governor Shapiro signed Act 2 of 2026, introduced as House Bill 17, mandating cursive handwriting instruction in all public and private elementary schools across the state. The law requires students to be able to read and write legibly in cursive by the end of 5th grade. Supporters highlighted the importance of cursive for cognitive development, fine motor skills, signing legal documents, and historical literacy, allowing students to read original foundational texts like the U.S. Constitution. The mandate takes effect on April 12th, which is 60 days after its February 11th signing. I don't know if the administration can answer this quite yet, but do we know how that is going to be added into the curriculum on that day?
I sure do, because we already do it.
I knew that, and I just
Yes.
wanted to make sure the public was aware.
So Becky Bush, our supervisor of K through 6, that was one of the first things that we worked on together when she came on board. There's a strong correlation between cursive writing and a student's ability to recall information. And so it's one of the first initiatives that we worked on together. And so we did bring back cursive writing. It's been 2 years, correct? 2 years.
Perfect. So no impact then really to us for this.
No,
Great.
we're
Trailblazers,
We
I
were
like
on
that.
it. We were on it
You guys are good.
because you should leave sometimes education to the educators. Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, I agree. All right. Moving on, a bipartisan group of Pennsylvania state senators is pushing for a statewide bell-to-bell cell phone ban in all public and private K through 12 schools. Senate Bill 1014, which recently passed the Senate with an overwhelming 46-1 vote, aims to eliminate classroom distractions and improve student mental health. Supporters, including Governor Shapiro and former teachers like Senator Stephen Santasiro, argue that the constant presence of smartphones hinders academic performance and prevents students from developing essential face-to-face social skills during breaks and lunch. Despite the bipartisan and bicameral interest in this issue, PSBA is opposed to legislation like Senate Bill 1014. PSBA's member-driven legislative platform calls for locally elected school boards to be provided with the greatest flexibility possible to establish their own local policies, and Senate Bill 1014 and other state-mandated cell phone bans greatly limit such flexibility. The bill has also faced some pushback from parents concerned about being able to reach their children during emergencies. In response, lawmakers and school safety experts noted that cell phone use during crises can actually spread misinformation and make it harder for students to follow life-saving instructions. The proposed legislation does include specific exceptions for students with medical needs or individualized learning plans and allows teachers to use the devices if they are integrated into a specific lesson plan. The bill now moves to the House for consideration. Also to note, PSBA will remain opposed to legislation that removes local control from the school directors who are best positioned to understand their communities. Democrat state representatives Chris Paelli and John Inglis III are introducing legislation that would lower the voting age for school board elections to 16 years old. In a co-sponsored memo, the lawmakers argue that no one is more impacted by school board decisions than students, yet they have no say in who gets elected to make the decisions that shape their education. Bill has not yet been submitted for introduction, but I am going to start making a lot of friends with my son's friends just to make sure I secure votes for the next. Absolutely. Just kidding. All right. The U.S. Department of Education issued updated guidance this month on constitutionally protected prayer and religious expression in public schools, superseding the 2023 guidance from the previous administration. The guidance clarifies that students, teachers, and school employees may engage in personal prayer at school, including visible prayer with voluntary student participation, as long as the school doesn't compel participation, sponsor the prayer, or speak on behalf of the institution. The guidance relies heavily on two recent Supreme Court decisions, Kennedy versus Bremerton School District and Mahmoud versus Taylor, emphasizing that schools cannot suppress religious expression, show hostility toward religious beliefs, or treat religious speech less favorably than secular speech. Schools must accommodate religious practices under a strict scrutiny standard and cannot force students to affirm viewpoints contrary to their sincere religious beliefs, though they retain authority to prevent disruption, targeted harassment, and threats. Next, for public school advocacy, there are two key events happening at the Capitol in the coming months. The Pennsylvania Literacy Coalition will once again be hosting the PA Literacy Summit on Monday, March 23rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At the morning summit, they'll share early findings from the coalition's statewide proof points research, highlighting what's working in classrooms across the Commonwealth and what it will take to ensure every child learns to read. Participants will hear from educators, school leaders, and policy experts driving real literacy gains and engage in conversations focused on turning policy into practice. In the afternoon, attendees will head to the Capitol for a press conference and legislative meetings to advocate for the funding and supports needed to fully implement Pennsylvania's updated literacy policies. I will be making the trip there for this event, along with, I believe Mrs. Bush will be there, and some very lovely reading specialists as well will also be attending from what I've been told. In addition, Spring Advocacy Day is slated for Monday, May 4th. This event brings school directors, school business managers, and superintendents together to advocate for key education issues. This year, the focus will be on relief from costly and burdensome mandates, school funding and the impact of budget impasses, and support for school infrastructure needs. The day will kick off with registration at the PSBA office in Harrisburg. PSBA will schedule your meetings should you register with legislators and provide you with resources and messaging to support advocacy efforts. I will also be planning to attend this event as well. And finally, the last item, just to remind everyone that the property tax and rent rebate program is now open for 2025 property tax rent rebate applications. Income limits increased again this year as the 2023 revised legislation provided for annual increases based on CPI adjustments. The upper threshold for eligibility is now $48,110, and 50% of Social Security is excluded. While this is not a district responsibility, many districts such as ours continue to provide information and use various communication tools to widen awareness for the residents. Does the administration know if we will be putting something out on the website in Parent Square for this?
Yes, we have previously.
Okay, perfect. That is it for my report.
Just to kind of add to that, are we publicizing the homestead? Because isn't the deadline for that coming up to apply for your homestead exemption?
The homestead, every December, we send out notices to people that have not received it before, but yeah, and they can also pick up applications here or through the
Okay, but the
county
deadline
website.
for that is they have to be filed by March 1st, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's another
Yep.
way. And, you can also get your not tax credit, but you can get a credit from the school district for $599 if you volunteer your 70 hours.
And actually, in this list of bills, there's two people that got their 599 already did their 100 hours.
Oh, good.
Yep.
So lots of ways to save some money. All right. We don't have anyone sign up for public comment, but I'd like to give the. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. I forget you every time, and I do apologize.
What does that say? I'm forgettable, I guess.
I'm just more focused on your wife and her, so.
She's the more important one, apparently.
Sorry, I apologize again.
No, it's okay. Thanks, Mr. Schaefer. No updates on the Township and Borough liaison from that perspective, but just wanted to make a warm welcome to Mr. Pio, one of the Exeter Township supervisors that's in attendance tonight. Thank you for coming out. So, turn it back over to you.
Are you sure? Yeah, you should have forgotten me. So Mrs. Montaigne has an announcement to make for us.
Okay, thank you. The board has asked that I make this announcement on behalf of the board. The Exeter Township School Board will momentarily have a vacancy for a school board director. Interested candidates should send a letter of interest and a resume to the board president, Julia Schaefer, at JJSHAF. Did that turn out right? Yeah. Start over. JJSHAFFER@exeter.sd.org by Friday, March 4th, 2026. Interviews will be scheduled the week of March 23rd, 2026. Oh. Is that? Do we have a different? We'll let you know when they're being scheduled.
We have to have someone appointed by March 20th. Yeah, March 20th.
Okay.
By March 20th.
Okay, all right. So we'll make an announcement of when interviews will be held. In order to be considered for an appointment, candidates are required to meet the following criteria and provide specific documentation. The documentation required is a formal letter of interest and a current resume. The deadline is still 11:59 Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. And the eligibility criteria, per the Pennsylvania School Code, applicants must be a citizen of Pennsylvania, a resident of the Exeter Township School District for at least 1 year prior to appointment, at least 18 years of age, of good moral character, and applicants cannot be current employees or do business with Exeter Township School District. And that is actually from the Ethics Code, not the Public School Code. Thank
I'm
you.
assuming that'll be posted on the website, okay.
We will send out information via Parent Square, and we will also have it as a pop-up on our website, and not for the entire time, but just over the next couple of days.
Are there any board members who would like to be heard at this time?
I would just like to say something quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. It was very lovely, all of the things you said. I've had the opportunity to work with 20 different school board directors over 7 years, which is pretty amazing. And everyone has brought a unique perspective, and I have learned from everyone. To this current board and administration, I truly appreciate all of you. This is a wonderful group of people who really care about our students and our staff and our entire district. Your dedication to your roles and your commitment to our student success made this experience meaningful, and I'm grateful for the connections that I've made. I'm wishing you all continued success, and I know that the work that you're doing makes a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilson. I gave you a mic, but you can't drop it. Does anyone else have anything to say? Okay. Our next meeting will be the committee of the whole meeting on Tuesday, March 3rd at 6 p.m. We'll be holding an executive session immediately following the adjournment of this meeting to discuss personnel and also the board vacancy process and timeline. Anyone else? We're good? Okay. If there's no objections, we'll adjourn the meeting. Hearing none, meeting adjourned.